Both my kids have been reluctant to learn to drive. Um, I don't have a problem with that, but they do live in a city that driving is, well, the default mode of transit. There are places to get to that you'd take hours to get to on a bus. So a few years ago, I sent Mel's to driver's school, and including in class, get you your permit, teach you what you need, take you out on driving lessons, the whole package. And we don't let Mel's drive our cars. Mel's doesn't want to drive our cars, but Mel's has a driver's license in case of an emergency. And that was the end of it. They've never set foot in a car as a driver since the day they got their license. James is also similarly not as very interested in it, but a while back, while he was still in school, he did in fact mention that, with regards to getting a job, it wouldn't be a bad idea if he had a driver's license. I thought, well, that's good. But his schedule and just hasn't worked out. So anyway, practical upstart is that I bought James the same package for learning to drive. He went down, took the tests, he's taking the class, got his learner's permit, and today he's at his very first driving lesson. It's 2.5 hours long. It started at 8 a.m. this morning. It's 10 a.m. now, so he's expected back in about half an hour. And obviously I'm not going to text him because he's driving. But I can't help noticing that he spent an awful lot of time at a shopping plaza way up north, just looking at the location of his phone. And that's got me a little nervous. To be quite honest, I can't understand why. I can't see anything in that shopping plaza related to the driving school. There's like a florist and a tattoo parlor and just a couple of miscellaneous. It's a really nothing plaza, and he looks like he's been there for quite a while. So I hope it's not somewhere where they go when they've had an accident or they had, I don't know, some sort of technical problem. If it had been a technical problem, I would hope he would have contacted me. Actually, if it had been an accident, I would hope he would have I don't know. Anyway, 30 minutes, I'll find out. But very strange. Very strange. So James came back from his first ride. And I say it's his first ride. He's never set foot behind the wheel of a car. If indeed you set foot behind a wheel, set butt behind wheel of a, I don't know what the correct term there is, but he's had no instruction, no, kid playing behind the wheel of the real car, nothing. So, he wouldn't have passed the driving test, but that's hardly surprising for the first try. I read the notes from the instructor, and they were, pointed out what the flaws were, which are the things you would usually expect. Not being able to keep the car at a steady speed, because that's, you learn the feel of the accelerator, and maybe not keeping the turns as tight as they should be, which again, you got to get used to the car. You got to understand that you and it dynamic. So none of those, I looked at those and I was like, yeah, that's practice. That's literally just practice. So, good. This is good. I think he'll be up and running. I wouldn't say in no time, but we're having to schedule the driving classes very inconveniently. Well, so when Mel's did it, we just scheduled them every 2 weeks, all at once. But in James' case, he's working, and his schedule is not really fixed because of the holidays and because it's seasonal work. And so he gets his schedule every Saturday for the next 2 weeks. So basically he gets his schedule that he already had for the first week, and then he gets a new bit of schedule for the week after, if that makes sense. So we have to go in and wait till Saturday and then book the classes. But guess what? They get booked, and that's why he went out at 8 a.m. during rush hour yesterday for his first class. And luckily we were able to, and you know, it has to be days when he's not working. Sometimes he works really early in the morning, sometimes he works late in the afternoon, or even at night. So we have to know his schedule before we can book the class. Then we have to see what the availability of the class is. Anyway, he's got one coming up in the week of December, first-ish full week in December, and we'll go from there. I got nothing else, but it's Thanksgiving when I'm recording this, and here are a few pictures of my wife making our family's traditional Thanksgiving dish, Taiwanese beef noodle soup. Enjoy.